Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to do a brief review of Roku's fiscal 2022 fourth quarter earnings results. The market liked what it saw from Roku after these announcements were released. The stock was up double digits. So let's take a look and see what the market liked so much. So revenue was roughly flat at 867 million in Q4 2022 versus 865.3 million in Q4 2021. The loss per share of $1.70 was a dramatic turnaround from an earnings per share of 18 cents last year. So Roku's prospects have turned dramatically. During the pandemic, in the earlier stages of the pandemic, it thrived as people were spending more time at home consuming streaming content, and that was really good news for Roku. Now that economies are reopening and consumers are spending more time away from home, that's hurting Roku's prospects. Thankfully, active accounts grew by 4.6 million from the previous quarter. It now has 70 million active accounts. Streaming hours increased by 23% year over year to 23.9 billion hours. People are streaming a lot of content on Roku. ARPU increased by 2% year over year to $41.68. ARPU is average revenue per user. So that's good news that Roku is making more money off of each user, even though each user is spending less time streaming content. The devices segment continues its negative gross margin streak. What Roku management has done that's different from most companies is that it chose to absorb higher costs instead of raise prices that it sells its units for. So it's paying more for, creating and delivering its units, but it's not charging customers higher prices. That's helping with customer growth, but it's hurting its gross profit margins in that devices segment. In the quarter, total gross profit was 364 million. That was down from 379 million in the same quarter the prior year, primarily due to what I just said earlier about the devices segment. 5 straight quarters at least in negative gross profit margins, and that streak is expected to persist. The company is forecasting Q1 revenue of 700 million and gross profit of 310 million, which would be down from 733 million and 365 million respectively from the prior year. So the negative headwinds will persist for Roku in the first quarter. However, management says it will be adjusted EBITDA profitable in fiscal year 2024. So 2023 not profitable in terms of adjusted EBITDA. 2024 is when it will be. However, I will point out here that EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, is already an adjusted figure. So looking at adjusted EBITDA is like adjusting an adjustment, and reaching profitability on that scale is not really an achievement, in my opinion, to be celebrated. Roku was, profitable for, just straight out profitable on the bottom line for several quarters during the peak during the pandemic. So now it's having to fight its way back to reaching profitability, which is going to be difficult. The company's in a difficult position right now in the near term. Longer term, it's got strong tailwinds supporting its growth, right? People are canceling their traditional cable and satellite subscriptions and moving to streaming instead, and that's going to drive growth for Roku longer term. However, just in these next few quarters, maybe next 2 years, it's going to be constrained because of the higher cost of goods sold, and it didn't raise prices on consumers. Advertising spending is down, and so all of those are working together to bring down its profitability as customer growth is getting expensive for Roku. So it's difficult to see what the market liked so much about Roku's fourth quarter results, other than to highlight the fact that the stock is already down significantly off its highs. So this quarter was just a bounce back from those decreases in its stock price, as the management, telling investors, look, in 2024, we're going to start to see some improvements in profitability. And so that gave investors some optimism regarding Roku stock. All right, so that's all I've got for this video. As always, I truly appreciate your viewership, and I hope you'll see me next time for another video. Thanks for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.